Hello, 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 hello. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. Let's go.
Yeah. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. It's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They gon' have it lit up. Yeah, you know, it's time for the Kevin and Nikee show. They got the airways popping every city across the globe. You know him as a dope actor, Kevin-d-benton. 360 twice jam, how he keep winning. And you know the baddest actress, Nikee-Warren. She so bad you walking past, she had you speaking for her. If you ain't tuning in, this your reality check. You might miss out on your favorite star celebrity guest. When they celebrate, what you do, you get the bell, yeah. During Kevins-Korner, get expired and encouraged, yeah. Bend them corners while you listen, but don't swerve. Find out what's getting on Nikee nerve. What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? What's bothering Nikee? What's bothering Nick? Keep on playing. Me and Kevin goes and we gon' get you hit. Yo, check us out on social media. In your mobile phone, we everywhere. You ever stations played out like a ringtone. Follow me like Bino R-E-M-E-Y. Bino Remy. Pop like Simi. And my flow hotter, thicker semi. Been doing this since I scraped up pennies. But back to the subject, Kevin-Nikee.
All right. We are back. For another exciting episode edition of the Kevin and Nikee show on iHeartRadio and all across the world. I'm actor-Kevin-d-Benton.
And I'm actress-Nikee-Warren.
And we're back, man.
And we're back. Yes. Awesome sauce.
Yeah, awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we always got some stuff going on. We're always getting into some positive stuff.
Yeah, we always
some
got a lot going on.
Hot and fire, like babies and pacifiers.
Me and Mariah. Yeah, we always got a lot going on.
So,
we stay busy.
We stay busy. Yeah.
Even when it doesn't look like we're busy, we're busy.
Yeah, we are.
We are so busy.
So I'm going to let you go first, because...
You want to let me go first?
Yeah, I would let you go first.
Oh, isn't that so
This ain't nothing new. I let you go first every week.
You going to let me do it? Okay, fine. You know what you do. You do.
What? Let me go first? No. Oh, go ahead. You go first. You do as in, yeah, you do let me go first.
Are you going to do our song?
Oh, okay. Well, it's time for the many adventures of Kevin and Nikee.
You so busy trying to let me go first, you ain't even want to do our song.
But that's what a gentleman would do. That's what I was thinking.
I know, but you forgot to do our song.
Right,
you were going to let me go without doing the song.
All right. Well, I'm glad you reminded me.
I got you. But listen, it's been a I got Boston baked beans stuck in my throat.
But see, on what was that? What's bothering Nikee? You got to talk about the coughing and stuff like a couple weeks ago. Now she over here coughing and stuff. Anyway,
it's been over the weekend. I wrapped up that film I told you for Philly Cam, 5 short films. Wrapped it up, and remember, I was texting you because I had a moment on set.
Yeah,
like I was not when I walked on set. I was not expecting so many people because the director said, "Okay, it's just going to be the actors, the actresses, and just like one." Camera person.
Right.
I walked on set. They were deep. I was like, oh no.
It's a real crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is Philly Cam Channel 66 in our area. This channel goes all throughout Philadelphia, so they're going to have quality people, and they're going to have quality what I want to say, equipment.
Yeah. I mean, they were strapped. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I turned around. I was like, oh my goodness. In my head, I just kept saying, I do not want to mess this up.
Yeah.
So
I think all of us as actors feel that way sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I had to quickly, after talking to you and you helping me with, my breathing and everything and getting it ready because I was so nervous.
Well, tell people what you did so they can learn. Let's use this as a moment to educate somebody that might be listening, that might be an aspiring actor or actress. You were nervous.
I was very nervous,
and,
you guys.
And tell people and I know the ending of the story because you nailed it. You nailed it. But tell people about your preparation between your jaw exercises.
Right. And see, the reason, you guys, why I was so nervous is because the film revolves around me. Remember, you guys, I told you that this is the film where I'm the lead actress, and I had to play a person who was schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And so it all, all eyes completely was on me.
Right.
I mean, completely. Like, you picture back in the royal days where the king gets married and then they go into the room and everybody is standing around watching. Mm-hmm. That's how it was. Like, everybody was just standing there, and I had to block them all out and go for it.
Well, tell them what you did before you started filming to get prepared, to get your mind and yourself ready.
First of all, after talking to you, I went into a quiet place, closed my eyes, went over my lines in my head, went over my breathing, and we went to, shout out to Nakia Dillard, we went to, Aiken's Performing Arts, and we learned some things over there. Yellow leather, red. Right. Betty Butter bought some butter. Those things.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. If you can get it, you can say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you better do your jaw exercises. You better do your pronunciation exercises because it's going to help with articulation.
Yes, and so I had to do all of that so I can get those words out. Right. Because not only was I schizophrenic, but I had to make sure that I was pronouncing the words correctly. Right. You know what I mean?
The job of the actor is to be heard and to be seen.
Yes.
And you want to pronunciate your words as best that you can. And so those exercises, those warm-ups that we learn, like you said, yellow leather, red, Betty Butter bought some butter, Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, unique New York.
But I'm going to tell you this. How I always say, one take Drake. Yeah. I was not thinking about no one take Drake that day.
Well, you know what?
I wasn't.
But I'm glad you said that, Nick, because I kind of had crowned you or deemed you the one take Drake queen. Mm-hmm. But like Jaden Kane said, who was on the show, even the great ones don't always get it.
Right.
And so but see, I know you're striving for that. Mm-hmm. And I know out of 10 times, 7 or 8 times, you're going to get the one take Drake.
Right.
But you had a difficult character. I mean, me having a degree in psychology. Yeah. Schizophrenic is a difficult character to portray and be believable. And, you nailed it. You pulled it off. And, you can definitely attribute that to doing your breathing exercises, doing your pronunciations to get into the character and to get rid of the jitters. And from what I hear, they loved it.
Yeah, they really did. They when I got done. Now, listen, we did a rehearsal.
Okay.
First. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to do this rehearsal and it's just going to be, me and the director just, getting in the blocking and everything. No, everybody watched us do this rehearsal. Right. And so when we got done with the rehearsal, the camera person from Philly Cam was like, listen, this is about to be fire.
Right.
He was like, this is about to be fire. If you can lay it down just like that, this thing is going to be a wrap.
Right.
And so, I mean, when, just to hear them, talking, one of the, people from Philly Cam was like, I told you, she recognized me. Right. And she said, you know what? I know you. I know your work. Right. This is going to be good.
Right.
And I was, that made me feel better. But at the same time, I was just like, I got to nail this. I got to get it right. I'm not even going to go for the one take Drake today because I cannot mess this up.
Well, I want you to reshape your thinking. You want to go for it, but in the event that you do mess it up, the great ones don't always get it.
And that's
so you want to always, that's where, it's almost like if you're playing archery, you don't want to say, you want to, what are you aiming for? The bullseye, right?
Right.
So you want to go into it aiming for the bullseye, but you understand, guess what? If I don't hit it, I'm human. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to reshape your thinking.
It was just it was just the type of role that I had to play. This role was challenging for me. I've never had to play this type of role before. Right. You know, so I really wanted to make sure that I did it. Right. And I did. And you know, it turned out really well, and nothing that I've done had to be reshot.
Well, there you go.
They got
you want the challenging roles. I know when I was playing basketball, I was in search for where are the best players playing. Right. You want to go where the best players playing. So as an actor, you want the challenging roles. If they're going to ask you, what role do you want? This one or that one? You pick the most challenging role because it's going to stretch you as an actor. So you did a good job.
So, you know, that was what I was doing over the weekend. And then, of course, got email that I got cast in another film, which I'm really happy about. You know, like I said last week, guys, I'm sorry I can't tell you the name due to the NDA, non-disclosure agreements that I had to sign, but I'll be letting you guys know what that film is that I got cast for a little later. But you know, that's it. You know, just staying on the grind, you know, auditioning, filming, you know, and getting ready for this big role we got coming next year. I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So, you know, that's what I've been doing.
Well, for me, I was filming an episode in a pilot called Layered. And for those that don't know, the last character that I played in Layered was Street Dude.
And
they actually got rid of that character, which I was really glad about, because Street Dude was real obnoxious. He was very rude and disrespectful. Yeah. And I was kind of like, you know, I mean, I know as an actor, we have to pull off roles that are not us. And that we can't identify with and just aren't representation of who we are as people or our character. But this character was it just didn't set right with me from the standpoint of his behavior, and especially how he had to portray his behavior towards, like, you know, women and stuff like that. So they actually got rid of that character, and I've actually played the host of Poetry Night. So it was really good. I was very proud of my performance. I'm just looking to grow every day. Like when I was playing ball, you know, I was one of the elite players, but I just wanted to get better every day. So I take that same mindset towards acting. So I grew from the standpoint of, I knew my lines, of course, but then I did a little improving. And, you know, as the host, you know, you could tell jokes when somebody's coming there to do a poem or whatever, and they loved it. But what I was most thankful for in terms of growth was we were kind of running out of time. Like what you said, I don't want to mess this up. So, because when you're running out of time, you don't want to be the one actor saying, okay, can we do that again?
Can we do it?
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so we run out of time, and I'm sitting there going through my mind saying, I can't mess this up. But
same thing I said.
But here's what I turned to. I believed in my preparation, because as my coach told me in college, your preparation is going to aid your effort. The fact that you have prepared, you know what I'm saying, that you prepare, even when you have mental lapses, sometimes you can prepare so much that when you have mental lapses during lines, your mouth will say the correct lines because you rehearsed it so many times. You see what I'm saying? And so I didn't make a mistake. I didn't mess up. But what was so interesting, this was the first time I seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actors get a one-take Drake all in a row.
You know what? They get the bell. They get the bell. They get the bell.
It was great.
Yes.
And here I'm sitting there saying, like, I'm not going to be the one to mess this up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be. So I did my line. It turned out well. And, you know, I'm always looking to critique myself afterwards and see where I can grow and see where I can develop, see where I can get better. But it was real good, man. Like I said, I was on time, wardrobe ready. I knew my lines. I was getting myself into character. You know, walking around like we learned on some other major sets, watching some A-listers. We watched what they did, you know, repeating their lines to themselves out loud. So I tried to emulate that, and it turned out well. And it was good. It was real good.
And I'm gonna tell you something funny. She said, the director said to me, she said, "Listen, Nikki, I just want you to look really crazy." Mm-hmm. So I had on.
Well, you know, in psychology, you're not supposed to use.
I know.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah.
But that's
mentally ill.
She wanted me to look really mental.
Well, so, look, this is the Kevin-Nikee show. We can say crazy.
See, you messing me up. So,
all right,
so I had on a pair of gray sweatpants with the white stripes, right? I had on tube socks with flip-flops on.
Okay.
You know, flip-flops, pink flip-flops, Kev.
Okay.
I had on a multicolored half dress with a lime green t-shirt over top of that, and a black sweater with my hair wrapped up in this scarf with a wig cap sitting on the top of my ponytail.
Yeah, you look crazy.
And listen,
I can tell you look crazy.
And I had a piece of tape stuck on my ear that I just stuck on my ear, refused to take it off.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that would be on point. I mean, sometimes, you know, they can look like everyday normal people, and sometimes they can look like what you just described.
But here's the thing: when I put the sock on, right, the sock ripped.
Okay.
So the whole heel of my foot was out.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I don't have another pair of socks. I guess y'all gonna have to work this in.
Well, no, I think that would be fitting. It seemed like for the character that you was playing, it would be fitting.
So when I came out of the bathroom, they were like, "Oh my God!"
Right.
Yeah,
that's the look.
That's
the look. Yeah, and that's all part of being the best believable you.
Yeah.
Your wardrobe is equally important as knowing your lines and all that stuff, because. You know, like as the host, I had on a white shirt with a vest and a fedora on with jeans and black shoes. Like I kind of wanted to look, you know, have on the attire kind of like that club look. You know what I mean? Like, so it's important. It's all about being a professional.
Yeah, because when I came out the bathroom, it was like, "What the hell?" Because I completely transformed myself.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And and last but not least, we went to the premiere of Old Head.
Oh yeah,
and that was nice, man.
That was nice.
Yeah, shout out to Tony Chenault.
Yeah.
You know, Josh Meekins. The Real Face Money, Wes. The whole entire cast and crew. It was real nice. Yeah. They had a panel of people, professionals who were business owners to help youth. They were asked questions about, you know, the impact of, you know, say the old head in the community on the youth, their programs on the youth. They also did a panel discussion with the staff. Or should I say the actors? The actors. Well, the staff and actors, cast and crew. And it was really nice. And then they showed episode 1. Yeah.
No, they showed season 3, episode 1.
Season 3, episode 1.
But let me tell you, like I told you guys, you gotta check out Old Head. It is awesome. Now you have to go to YouTube and you have to check out season 1 and season 2 in order to catch yourself up to season 3.
Right.
It's really good. Kev is in it. Kev plays the city councilman, and you're gonna be seeing some crazy things from him as you keep watching the series. But check it out, Old Head. Tony Chenault, these people are really doing this thing, and like I said, this is something that has all of the makings that it could be on HBO,
right, or Netflix,
or HBO, Netflix, stars. It has that camera quality, and the actors are doing their thing on there, so it has all of the components to hit. Right, you know, those major networks.
And I love the theme of Old Head. Like it has the shoot 'em up element, it has the drug dealing element, it has the street and urban component, but it's about the power of the old head in the community. The power of positive influence. Yeah. You know, when I was growing up playing basketball, you know, we had old heads in the community that, you know, some that were living underground lives that said, hey, y'all better not be out here doing what we doing. Y'all better be on the trolley going to school because y'all got a shot to make it out with basketball being that. And so the theme is about that. And like I said, I play the city councilman. So if you see me show up with a mink coat in the series, I didn't take the money. Well, I might have took the money.
Wait, don't give it away.
I ain't gonna give it away.
And you know, old heads are needed. You
positive old heads.
the positive old heads and Big Mamas. You know, Big Mama was holding it down, and we've gotten so far away from that. And you know, that's that Big Mama and the old heads in the community kept the kids in line. And, when they kept things. And
the thing about it is, like, an old head could also be a female mentor. It's still really dealing with mentorship. Yeah. And I like this segue because we got a special guest. On the line that y'all gonna want to hear from. Doing big things. This is a brother beloved man. Love he and his family, his program. And so we're going to take a break. But before we do, the next voice you guys are going to hear, man, is a dynamic program in the upper New Jersey area. And it's doing big things. We don't want to say it just yet because we're going to introduce him when we come back from the break after we play this song. And, man, listen, turn up your radio. Stay locked in because you're not going to want to miss this.
Are we going to take him to church?
No, we ain't gonna take him.
We're not gonna take him to church.
Yeah, we can take him to church. Let's take him to church.
Let's take him to church.
All right. So when we come back, the next voice you're gonna hear, is the preeminent doctor. He gonna preach it. He gonna bring it right.
Preach, pastor.
He gonna help Gilligan get off the island. He gonna help Gilligan get off the island.
Gilligan.
All right. When we come back, y'all gonna hear our special guest. We just playing around. But we gonna give him the bell before he come out. That's it. This is Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We everywhere. We be right back.
Lay back, chin in the floor. All I wanna know is if it's cool. We can do a little something, a little something, something with you, oh baby. So we can kick a little something, something. Even though she pays me no attention, all I wanna show is my affection. Lose myself inside her ebony, but she ain't even checking me. Oh, yeah, it's cool, baby. We can do a little something, a little something, something with you, oh baby. So we can kick a little something, something. Honey, do you sugar chocolate something, yeah. Sister with a certain something, something. Flavor with a cocoa kind of flow. Baby, act like you know. Yeah. Oh, if it's cool, baby, I wanna ride. Oh, R-O-C-K with you, baby.
are back. We are back as we promised.
If it's cool,
we
can do a little something, something. Oh, if it's cool, baby.
We already got to, you know, we guys got to go to church. You know what I'm saying? We already got to go to church.
Yes.
Yeah, we was into it. We should have kept going.
We should have kept going.
It's broken down, though.
We're going to bring our special guest in
and
let him harmonize with us.
Okay, I got you. Well, I don't know if he's going to harmonize, but I know he's going to talk to us.
He probably can sing.
He's
singing in church.
Yeah, that's right. We all sing in church. All right, but before we bring him on, I want to introduce our special guest. His name is none other than Mr. Les-Wexler.
Woo!
Yes, sir. He is one of the founders. He is the founder of Positive Choices for a Brighter Future.
Yes.
Okay. Now, basically what it is, it's a substance abuse education prevention program based at Copeland Middle School in Rockaway Township. And it's called Project Positive Choices. And he's on the front lines. Saving lives, impacting kids, and is making a huge difference, not just in the upper New Jersey area, but in the world. And we had to get him on the show because this is going worldwide, and we want people to support this program. We're going to give him the bell before he come on.
He got to get the bell. Before he come on, he get the bell.
You got to get the bell.
Awesome.
That's what's up. So, without further ado, Mr. Les, are you there?
Yes, I am, Kevin.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, we're doing great. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. Oh, man. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir. It's definitely an honor to have you on the show, man. And I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the show and share with our listeners.
Yes.
I know that they're going to glean a lot from, what you're going to say and what you do. So we want to jump right into the interview.
Yeah.
And Nick, I'm going to let you go first.
Yeah. You got some awesome things going on. Tell our listeners a little bit about how you got started with your program.
Okay. Well, what happened was back in 1998. We're going back now just about 21 years. Morris County, New Jersey, was dealing with a lot of drug overdose deaths. And, we couldn't figure out what was going on. There was 22, just in our county alone, back in 1998. And there was 22 deaths, and out of the 22, almost 20% of them came from our one town.
Wow.
And then 2 of the 4 that we lost were 17-year-olds that died within 6 weeks of each other.
Wow.
And they had both gone through Copeland Middle School and through our Rockaway Township education system. And I'm saying to myself, and a lot of us were saying, why is this happening? Why are these kids not getting a message?
Mm-hmm.
And DARE was in effect, and to this day it's still in effect, but it wasn't getting a strong enough message to our kids at the middle school level, which is where it all started.
Yeah.
So a bunch of us got together. We actually met at my dining room table. It was like a round table discussion. And we said, can we put together a program that could effectively help our kids before they get to high school?
Right.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we came up in the spring of 1998, a program, what we felt was a 4-phase program, which would really impact the kids before they got to high school. We presented it to our superintendent of schools, who at the time was Dr. Tom Parsiak. He looked at it and said, let's tweak a little bit. We tweaked it, and we brought it back to him. And, instead of him saying, you know what, I'm afraid to, put a program like this in our school. What's it going to do to our property values? What is it going to give us a stigma in the town? He said, you know what? I'm more concerned about saving children's lives.
There you go.
He says, let's do it, and and we need to move forward with this. And because of his courage, our program, Project Positive Choice, was put into our middle school, which is an 8th grade based program, and it all started in the fall of 1998, and that's how it all
Wow.
Awesome. Now you mentioned the 4 phases of the program. Tell our listeners about what those 4 phases are.
Okay. Well, what we do is we try and space it out over the course of the year, because it can't be like what a lot of schools do. It's one and done.
Right.
You bring in one person and you think you did your job for the year. That's not the way it works. That's not how you're going to help our kids. So what we did was we said we're going to space out four phases over the course of the year. And phase one is where we bring in students from Daytop, New Jersey. It's a long-term drug and alcohol treatment center based out of Mendham, New Jersey. There's usually 4 or 5 students that are still going through the treatment center. And they come talk to our 8th grade students in small settings where they talk to them about the demons they fight every day, how they messed up their lives, their families' lives, and what they're trying to do to get their lives back together. Now, it's just ironic that we're talking today because today was the day, that Daytop the students were at our middle school. So today actually kicked off phase one of our program Project Positive Choice. And it's always very, very effective because the kids that are in Copeland talking to our kids are literally within a year or two of the same age that they are. So there's a real connection there, and that certainly helps break down a lot of barriers, and it gets the kids involved with talking about things that are happening in their lives. So they're willing to go back and forth and ask really astute questions, which is great.
Awesome.
Phase two, which phase two, which usually happens after the first of the year. We bring in a person that talks about the tragic death of a loved one. Usually it's a child, a spouse, a sibling. It could be anything. And they've suffered the ultimate loss. And they will come in and talk about how that has affected their lives, their family lives, and how their lives will really never be the same again. And, they bring it in from, we bring that in from a relative's perspective, which adds, real, it's a realness to the issue. Everything that we do at Copeland, there's no actors. These are all real people with real stories.
Yeah.
And it really sends a real strong message to the kids. Then we continue on with phase 3, which happens in the spring, and that's where we bring in prisoners from the New Jersey
Wow. Nice. Wow.
Male and female prisoners that come in, and, they come in their orange jumpsuits. They come in with the guards.
Nice.
Who, have their guns with them.
Wow.
They come in, and they sit, and they talk to an entire 8th grade class. Usually it's 300 to 350 students, and they will talk about what the crimes they've committed, what prison life is like, and how long their sentences are.
Wow.
And and you know what? And they're all average people like you and me. It's just that they made bad decisions, and now they're paying the ultimate price.
Right.
And the people that come in are serving anywhere from 2 years to 15 years.
Wow.
In a lot of
That's
cases,
what's up.
people died from their mistakes and from their choices, and it really has a very profound impact on the students that they're talking to, because this is real stuff. They hear what prison life is like on a daily basis, and you know what? It's really it's very rare that you hear silence amongst 350 8th graders at one time.
That's right.
Today you get that, and it's really and the questions that these kids ask are really very interesting. You wouldn't think you would care for 8th graders, but boy, they really ask some very pertinent and powerful questions. And except for cursing, the prisoners let it all out there. Exactly what things are like.
Kind of like Scared Straight.
And
there you go. And so, so now we finished our 3rd phase, which have all been negative. Now the 4th phase, which Kevin could, certainly vouch for because he was part of it.
Nice.
This year, and it's what we call the Celebrity Day.
Yeah.
Celebrity Day is where we bring in positive reinforcement, how we like to end up the school year. We bring in, and this year, probably the most celebrities we bring in, we've had, I think we had 16 celebrities that come in, spend the day with our students, talking about the positive choices, what your life could be like when you make positive choices, and don't have to resort to drugs and alcohol to lead productive, positive lives. And we bring in some really great people. Kevin, of course, is one of them. But over the course of the years, we've had anybody from four-time World Series champion Darryl Strawberry, who certainly supports and knows our program. NBA Hall of Fame coach Bob Hurley, our very dear friend who Kevin met, Caitlin Roy DeBellis, who's a hero teacher from the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in Connecticut. Tim Bassett, who won a championship with the Nets. Derek Murphy, who Kevin knows, played with the Harlem Globetrotters for many years. We've had the original Annie, Andrea McCardle, was there this year. So people from Broadway, Jeffrey Owens, Elvis Crosby show, who's been coming up for the last several years. And so anybody and everybody has been part of it. And they all, not only, they get as much out of it as the kids, the faculty, us as Alliance members and parents. We all get something out of this. And it's just a day-long event. And Kevin could also, tell you a little bit also, since he was there.
Nice.
And, they'll go into the classrooms. They spend the day to make sure that each of the kids get to hear the message, and they'll have lunch with them. They can take pictures with them. We do a celebrity basketball game at the end of the day. So we want them to have a positive reinforcement before they end their middle school. And we feel this is a good way to end the year, so that they'll have the summer off and then they go into high school. Nice. And they'll have a lot of that they remember from what they from this program that they took in eighth grade. And sadly, I wish there were more programs like it. I believe our program is the only one like it in New Jersey, and possibly all of New Jersey, all of the United States. And I wish that wasn't the case, because I'm nobody special. We're just average people trying to help save lives, and and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
He got to get the bell.
We
got to get the bell.
Got to get the bell. I just want to tell you, my hat goes off to you. I am so proud of you and what you are doing. You pretty much answered a whole lot of my questions. Right. I mean, one of the questions I was going to ask was, what techniques do you have to reach the children? And you pretty much answered that. Four phases. You with the 4 phases, bringing in people who have been where these kids are going, who can reach them and help them out. I mean, that is just phenomenal. And we need more of this. Yeah. We need more of this, because the kids today, they're going through so much more than what we went through when we were kids. They have way more issues, and sometimes exposed to a lot more. Yeah, they're exposed to a lot more. And some of these kids, they're hard to reach. Yeah. So you, with your program, bringing in people from the prison system who can talk to them and help them, steer them away from that. That's just awesome. It's phenomenal. Yeah. It's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I thank you both for the kind words, and we really appreciate that. It's I always tell people, it's not one person or 2 people. Yeah. It's a team effort. Yeah. And whether it's the people on our alliance, or Kevin and the rest of the celebrities, or whoever has been part of this program, we're all in this together, and we're all family when it comes to helping to save our kids. Yes. And there's a couple of, well, first on a sobering note, is New Jersey is on target to lose 3,000 people this year to drug overdoses, and that is so surreal that you can't even wrap your head around that one. Yeah. That 3,000 people just in one state, and sadly we've been losing them here in Rockaway Township this past year. Over the last few months, we've lost several, all in 20s and 30s, and I mean there's got to be an end to this. We just can't continue going on this pace, and there's actually even a bill down in the New Jersey State Senate and Assembly to have our program be a model for the rest of the state. Yeah. And and it's it's been sitting down there. It has not been prove. But you know what? We'll continue to do what we need to do to get the message out there, and whatever whatever support we can get will be great. And as Kevin knows, we just finished filming a documentary based on our program.
Yeah,
nice.
Which actually Kevin is in.
Awesome.
He has a part of it, and the students actually did all the filming, and we brought in many people, and they worked on it over the course of the year, and we will be premiering it on December 1st up at Christ Church in Rockaway Township. And,
okay.
We're going to have, we should have a nice crowd for that.
Nice.
Numerous celebrities that have been part of our program are probably going to be up there, as well as the community. We're going to have law enforcement, our dignitaries, and we just want the people to see that, that there is something out there. You don't have to start from scratch.
Right.
There is a program. You don't have to do everything we're doing, but do something.
Right.
Don't, there's too many people that talk the talk, and nobody wants to walk.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you know what? Talk is cheap, and I think you guys know that as well as anybody.
Yes, sir.
And you know what? Everybody wants to do something, but when it comes to doing it, that's a whole nother story.
Absolutely.
We take a lot of pride in the fact that we put our kids first, and we're going to do what we have to make sure we can get that message out there to them. And whatever we can and need to do, that's what we're doing.
Nice. Love it.
And you guys are doing such a great job. For all our listeners out there, we're talking to Mr. Les-Wexler. He is one of the founders of the Positive Choices for a Better Future. It is a program is in the Copeland Middle School in Rockaway Township. And basically what it is a substance abuse education prevention program. And they're doing a wonderful, great job.
Yes, wonderful job.
I mean, it was so many nuggets that was sticking out to me that I was over here taking notes. I love the peer-on-peer mentorship. Then they bring the people in that talk about real life experiences and things like that. And it culminates into a celebrity basketball game, a day of honoring and fun and being able to rub shoulders with the kids, and everybody's having a great time. It was so much fun, and being able to go into the classroom, and I got paired up with Jeffrey Owens.
Nice.
And it was just so much fun. It was such an honor to be with Jeffrey, of course. And we kind of tag team, and Jeffrey played his guitar.
Nice.
And then I came along with my speech. The kids loved it. We made them laugh. We made them think. And our hope and prayer, man, is that we drop some seeds in there that will make them think about making positive choices.
And the kids, they just want to know that somebody cares. Somebody cares about them.
Nikee, you're 100% right, because the students can see films all day long. They can hear things from people that they don't know, but when they see 15 or 16 celebrities, and we call them celebrities because that's what they are. They come in and they're willing to spend a whole day with them, up close and personal. A lot of these kids, who knows if they'll ever get that opportunity.
Right.
And the people that and our celebrity, our friends, our family, who we consider them, are basically all down-to-earth, good people that their noses are not up in the air. They're here to truly make a difference in our kids' lives, and that's what makes a difference. Just like Kevin met our Coach Hurley, NBA Hall of Fame coach Bob Hurley. Bob could be doing a million different things.
He sure could.
He makes the time to come up here every year to be part of this program. It's almost like a calling.
Right, that's right.
Him and many other people. And like John Bell, who was with Z100 radio station, Z100 for 27 years. He was with one of the biggest music stations in the country, and yet he's family. Every year he's up here. Anytime I need something, if I call John, are you available? He said, Les, just tell me when and where.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so special, because they're all great people, and every year we just keep adding to it. And even this past year, again, I'm going to keep referring back to Kevin because he was there that day. We had David Tyree.
Yeah, David Tyree.
The New York Giants.
The
nicest guy in the world, who really is a caring person. We had, great gentlemen from the Wounded Warrior Project who really suffered and had some really serious injuries when he served, and we honored him along with David. But they come and they're so amazed that, wow, I've never seen a program like it. How did you do this? It's a team effort, and again, I'll always use the word team because there's never I in team. We're all doing this together, and that's what we do.
That's right.
That's what we do.
That's
nice.
Right. And some of the other celebrities was Dave Scott from the NFL Oakland Raiders, an author. He was there. Dr. Charles Lee, who's a martial arts expert, and he was a bodyguard for Michael Jackson and a whole lot of celebrities. So Tafara Stewart was there. She's 4'6", but she can play some basketball, and I'm telling you, she would run circles around most of us. And so, it was just a host. Yeah, Danielle Kaiser was there. It was just so many people. And the one thing I loved was that there was a spirit of unity and love among the celebrities because we were all of one spirit, one mind, and we were all there to save lives. And that's what it was about. It was sacrificial, giving of our time, talents, and things like that. And it was a phenomenal, professional, organized, structured program from start to finish, and it ran like clockwork.
Nice.
I'm telling you, it was phenomenal.
And it's also nice, and for our celebrities that come up, from a distance. In this case, whether it's Kevin or Derek Murphy or Dave Scott or Darren Alexander, who have to come a couple hours away, we'll put them up at a hotel the night before, and we all go out for a nice dinner. We let our hair down, and it's as it's like one big family sitting and enjoying each other's company. It's just an amazing, I'm going to use the word humbling experience for me to be part and to know all these great people. But I know one day I'm going to wake up and it's all going to be over. But you know what? We're enjoying the ride now, and really loving the fact that we've been able to reach probably 7,000 to 10,000 students.
Nice.
In the years.
Awesome.
Nice. You get the bell.
We got to give you the bell again, Mr.
You get the bell. Yes, that is awesome.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, I like the bell.
I got you.
And now we're actually, we've been asked, and we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, we've brought a little bit of our program down to the 7th graders, where we bring in a couple of speakers just over the course of the year to start to prep them.
Okay, because, awesome.
A lot of parents, just quickly, a lot of parents don't seem to understand that the drug culture happens in middle school.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Either don't want to know it or don't understand the fact that it's there. Their kids know about it. Social media is here and has been here. And a lot of it they see in either on the media, social media, or amongst their friends, and that's why you really got to reach them.
Yes, you
do. Absolutely.
Yes, you do.
Like my one daughter said to me many years ago. I have 3 daughters. She said, "Dad, if you wait to start teaching them in high school, it could be too late."
It could be too late.
And she's absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
So if you can bring it down to the middle school level, boy, at that point, at least we have a fighting chance.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's just awesome. Now, I want to talk about Darryl Strawberry, who is a former professional baseball player. He also plays a very important role. Talk a little bit about Darryl and what he does for the program.
Well, Darryl, we've become friends over the last few years. When we wanted to do something special, and not just for our town, but the surrounding towns as well. We decided to bring in Darryl, who has not really spoken in this area, and Darryl's got a very, very powerful story because he was a recovering addict. I mean, there's so much to his story that will make your a hair stand on end. And we had him come up. We had it at the high school. We had 1,000 people show up. And he did such a phenomenal job because not only is he recovering, but he's also an ordained minister. He owns 2 treatment centers in Florida, and he really knows how to reach people in a way that, you know, a lot of people can't.
Yeah.
So over, you know, like I said, the last 3 years, we've kept in touch with him. We've become friends. We've seen him on a few different occasions. We've recommended him to different schools, and he's just a great guy. I mean, he's a fun guy to be around, and it's just great to have someone of Daryl's stature be able to come and connect with people like you know, like a bunch of us can, but you know, he does it at a little bit higher level because of his name recognition. But he's got a real good message, and you know, we call him, we'll talk to him, and he's just a great guy, and so I'm very happy that he's been part of it over the years also.
Awesome.
Shout out to Daryl Strawberry. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we definitely got to give a shout out to
get on your show.
Yeah. We would love to. We would love to get the Hall of Famer on our show.
We sure would.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, to tell him he's most welcome. We would definitely love to have him on the show, and that'd be an honor. And definitely want to give a shout out to les-wexler and the whole team, of course. But I know Lisa handles the social media, the website. She does a phenomenal job. So I want to take an opportunity to put this website out there, and we're going to put it out there again at the end. www.rtsaa.org. Check it out. Browse around. They got pictures up there. There are a lot of things, videos about what the program is all about. And you just might see me in one of the photos. You might see me in one. You know what I mean?
Kevin, I guess you've been browsing.
I've been browsing, man. Yeah, and you also can donate and get involved. Maybe you might not be the person that would play in a celebrity basketball game, or maybe you can't come physically, but you can donate and get involved that way by supporting. That's another way to save lives and things like that as well. But Mr. Les, man, we just want to just give you an opportunity to give any kind of closing comments. Maybe there's somebody out there that might be struggling with an addiction. What kind of encouragement, advice could you give them? Or maybe if they want to connect with you, follow you on social media, what have you. You know, we want you to have this time, man, to just put, you know, the program, social media out there, websites and all that stuff. So people can connect. Maybe it's somebody that's sitting and listening quietly in their tent and just want to know where they can reach out for help. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I appreciate that. You know, this time of year is always tough for people that are, you know, dealing with struggles and things and going on in their life, and when they're dealing with substance abuse, that only makes it a little bit tougher. We've helped a lot of people over the years who are dealing with the struggles and they don't know where to reach out to. And our phone number is on our website. You'll see it's a 713 number. If there's something, you know, or you're looking for a place or someone that you could talk to, please call that number and it will reach out to me, and we can certainly get you into the right direction. People that are listening to this broadcast and don't know where to turn, just know that there are people out there ready, willing, and able to help you. Don't think all is lost, because that is not the case.
That's right.
Always, you know, if you turn around, there's going to be someone there that's going to want to help you, and you know, that's what, you know, you need to know. Even if you think you're at your lowest point, I've seen many people at their lowest point, and they've been able to come back. So there are people out there, especially at this time, and with what this epidemic is dealing with. So there's plenty of people that want to help you and get you to turn your life around and get the help you need. You know, we don't want people doing anything drastic. We want to be able to talk to you and help you and get you back into a positive light and get your, you know, we want you to lead productive lives at this point. So
that's right.
Just if you need to call, go to that number, call that number, leave a message if, you know, I don't pick up, and we'll certainly get you connected to the right people.
There we go.
And we'll make sure it happens.
That's right. That's what's up.
Awesome.
Yes. Well, Mr. Les, man, love you, brother. Say hi to your beautiful family, man. We're looking forward to December the 1st.
Yes.
And I know the kids is looking forward to a rematch because we beat them last year. But no, it was so much fun.
Wow.
But thank you so much for just coming on the show.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having me be a part of the program. I really feel really good that I'm giving back and helping and serving and making a difference from just speaking to the kids and the basketball games. And anywhere you need us, man, let us know. Your family.
That's right.
And anything that we need to put out on the airways to help promote what you're doing, please don't hesitate to call me. Whatever. You have my number. It's always open. Yep. And let us know how we can support.
Yes.
And Kevin and Nikee, I thank you both for your friendship and support. And Nikee, you're always welcome to come up here and see what we're doing and be part of it because, like I said, we're all in this together. And I know that people would love to meet you and know you. And we're all going to get through this together. Yeah.
I sure will be there.
Now, Nick says she can play basketball.
I can.
Well, you know what? We need some more, female blood in there.
All right, I'm going to do it.
All right, we're going to see.
I'm going to do it.
Now, Mr. Les, we don't know if she was just talking trash or not. She said she can play. We're going to find out.
I can play. I'm telling you.
Tafara will certainly find out. That's what
Yeah.
It's always a lot of fun. And again, guys, thank you very, very much for having me on your show. It's been a real pleasure. I wish you guys nothing but good things and a very, very happy holiday season.
Yeah,
Thank
you too, man. Take care. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. All right.
Okay, and you take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Awesome sauce. That is just awesome.
Man, I want to definitely put that website and the phone number.
Yes.
Because maybe it's somebody sitting here, listening to the show, that might say, hey, man, where do I turn? I got this quiet demon that I'm fighting. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to be talked about. Where can I reach out? Go to www.rtsaa.org. That website again is www.r as in Robert, T as in Tom, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, A as in Apple again, .org. And that number you can call is 713-338-9441. Once again, that number is 713-338-9441. And that was Mr. Les he's phenomenal, man. He's just a phenomenal human being, phenomenal person. This cluster of people between the celebrities and the founders of this awesome program are just phenomenal people. It's just so much love, positivity, and unity. And it's like a family oriented group. And it really is like family. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And these are some of the greatest people that I've been around in my life. These are very people of high stature who come in there just like one of the guys or one of the girls, because there's a like-mindedness, a like-spiritedness about giving to these kids and saving lives, man. And it's just awesome, man. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the entire crew, just doing their thing. And I like programs like this because the kids need to know and understand that we care about them. Right. We care about what they're going through. They're on a whole different level from when we were kids. Yeah. They are battling a whole lot of stuff. Yeah. Than what we went through when we were children. So it's like when you get over one hurdle, here come another one with these youth today.
Yeah. And the things are more easily accessible now than there was when we were younger. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, but when we were younger, we had to jump over more hurdles to get the stuff. Yeah. Now stuff is just out in the open.
Stuff is just out in the
open with no barriers to get there. And
the kids are just exposed to a whole lot, so much, and it's crazy. And, these kids are just dealing with so much. They can't even walk down the street. They can't even go to school. So, I love programs like this, and Integrity Click that, lets the children know that we care about them. And we're there to support you. And
help you.
And help you.
And like he talked about that talking about it versus doing. And these are a group of people who are doing, they're putting their mouth where their money is.
Yeah.
They're backing up what they're saying with their actions.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so many nuggets I walked away. He talked about that peer-on-peer mentorship. He talked about those people coming in there from the prisons or people that had loved ones die from drug overdoses, give real life testimony, real life stories. This is not, this is not acting. Yeah. This is real. People are struggling because, like I always say, whether you're playing basketball, acting, going to work, life is still life, and life get hard. And people are trying to cope with life on life's unfair terms. So sometimes they might want to turn to the bottle or turn to drugs. That's why we got to be careful who we look down upon and judge and try to step in and help people because you don't know what trauma, pain, and devastation that they've been through. If you're not going to say nothing nice and lend a helping hand, I'd rather for you not to do nothing.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it right there.
So it's just an awesome program. And I'm glad that we here at the Kevin and Nikki Show was able to support and give information.
That's right. And get the bell again. Get the bell again, doing positive things. Positive stuff. And it's not about us. It's all about those kids.
That's it.
That's it.
All
Love
right,
it. So we're going to do it. We're going to move right on into news and sports.
All right. In sports, if you didn't already know.
You can't even say it like that. You got to say it
this is a little depressing because the Eagles got their behind whipped.
But you got to still say it.
That's why I didn't say it the way I didn't say. I said it a little less depressing because
but I look forward
this
to
was it.
Week,
I mean, this is a little down.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so New Orleans, the Philadelphia Eagles' tendency to start off slow reached a new level of embarrassment on Sunday during the team's 48-7 loss. So that's why I didn't say it as enthusiastic as I normally say it.
I got you.
To the New Orleans Saints. And so Philadelphia's offense managed just 7 points during the unit's first 3 drives as the Saints built the 3-score lead in the early moments of the second quarter. All right. New Orleans never looked back. Along with the offense's abysmal effort, the Eagles defense couldn't stop the Saints' high-powered offense from moving the ball down the field. You couldn't stop the run. New Orleans produced 3 plays of 23 or more yards in the first quarter as the home team built a massive early lead. The Eagles never found their footing against the Saints as New Orleans continued to pile on the points into the second half. So here's what we believe went wrong during this game. So who's to blame? Okay, the offense and the defense share the blame for the worst overall performance of the season. While the special teams unit was preserving favorable field position for each unit early on, the offense couldn't take advantage and the defense gave up ground accordingly. The Eagles linebackers couldn't handle the Saints' constant misdirection in the backfield. The confusion led to big gains for both the New Orleans running back and passing attacks. So the banged up Eagles secondary also allowed several big catches in coverage. So where it went wrong, the slow start for the entire team serves as the catalyst for disaster for the Philadelphia Eagles. They started off without urgency and it showed. The group's lack of early efficiency led to a 17-0 lead for the Saints. A 3-score hole is pretty hard to climb out of no matter how early it is created. Quarterback Carson Wentz put in his worst effort in the last 2 seasons, completing just 19 of 33 passes for 156 yards and 3 interceptions. The Eagles starting center, Jason Kelce, elbow, free safety, Avonte Maddox, knee, also suffered game-ending injuries in the first quarter. The Eagles rely on both of these players as their absence mattered as Philadelphia attempted to come back. The grade that was given to the Philadelphia Eagles was F.
Ooh,
so that's why I wasn't too enthusiastic. I know. Maybe next week I'll say it. I'll say it.
But okay, so they're done, right?
Well, you know, I went into a store today and I saw a young lady wearing an Eagles sweater, and I said, "You got a lot of courage wearing that the day after."
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of heart. And some people in there, some brothers chimed in, and this is what they said: "It ain't over until it's over."
Well, you know what? That's right.
So they say, you know, the old saying, "It ain't over till the fat lady sing." Well, they're singing. It's over, y'all. Because now they're in a situation where they got to hope this team lose and this one get the bye and this one lose again. What? And so it doesn't look good.
Well, you know what? I'm going to say to you what you said about the Eagles. When you're at the top,
right? Everybody
you become a target, and everybody wants to knock you down.
That's right.
Everybody wants to knock you down. So they won the championship. So everyone is gunning for them.
That's right.
You know, this time because they don't want them to win another one.
Right.
So it's quite obvious that is what's happening. But at the same time, knowing that Eagles, you got to be prepared.
Right.
You know, to handle what they're going to bring to knock you down.
Right.
You know,
when you're on top, everybody's gunning for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's one of the things when you're the champions, the worst team in the league is going to get up to play you.
Yeah. Because
they just want to be able to say, we beat the champs.
Yeah. And like Michael Strahan said on Sunday, he said, listen, y'all got to figure it out.
Yeah.
How to not let these people knock you down anymore. Right. You got to come together and figure it out, and you got to support.
Yeah. So, they can't. It's like, is it unfair? Success can be unfair.
Yeah.
Because you can't, when you've been successful to the point where you've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just not another game for you.
Yeah.
It's just not another game from that point forward. Everybody's looking to beat you. Now I got to give the Eagles some leeway from the standpoint of they've been suffering a lot of injuries this year. And of course that affects your team's performance and output. But the philosophy with the Eagles is next man up. Next man up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all I have in sports. That was enough.
That was
48-7. I don't have anything else after that.
Oh my.
That was it.
Well, in news, Kim Porter, ex-fiance of music mogul Sean Puffy Combs, also aka Diddy, passed away on last Thursday, November 15th. Now, although sources say that the cause of death was a heart attack, an additional investigation into what caused her death is currently being conducted. Sources say that Kim had pneumonia a few weeks earlier, which followed with a heart attack. And Kim leaves behind 4 children, 11-year-old twin girls, a 20-year-old son with P. Diddy, and a 27-year-old son with R&B singer Al B. Sure. Now, on Sunday, Diddy broke his silence, because he was quiet for, a few days. He was just, distraught. So he broke his silence and he expressed how he felt about Kim's passing in a heartfelt video. And if you have not seen that video, it'll just break your heart. And he quoted, "For the last 3 days, I've been trying to wake up from this nightmare, but I haven't. I don't know what I'm going to do without you, baby. I miss you so much. I'm going to try and find the words to explain our unexplainable relationship." And he also followed it by saying, "We were more than best friends. We were more than soulmates. We were on some other bleep." Mm-hmm. Basically, their relationship was on a whole different level that can't be explained, and that is just the saddest thing ever. I did some research on this, and they showed a video of Sean Diddy Combs at her house, and the way he stood there while the police was, informing him of what was going on, he looked like a lost puppy. Mm-hmm. He was just standing there like, he don't know what to do. He don't know where to walk. He was just standing there, and he had his arms folded like this, in that way where he's trying to comfort himself at that time. And, it was the saddest video ever. And the video that he has up there with him and Kim is just so loving. It's just really hard to watch because it shows, their relationship over those years. They were together about 13 years, on and off for 13 years. Mm-hmm. And, they have the children, of course. And, Diddy went on to date other women, but he still had that connection, that unexplainable, as he said, connection with Kim that nobody could replace. And so now to lose her, he's saying he don't know what he's going to do without her.
And our condolences go out to, the family, the children, definitely positive vibes.
Because the children the girls are young, and sources say that you did not see Kim without those girls. Yeah. The girls were always with their mother, and so now their mother, is no longer here, and that's just the saddest. It's just the saddest thing ever. Mm-hmm. It really is. And it's crazy because Stan Lee passed away 3 days before Kim. Mm-hmm. And Stan Lee was rushed to the hospital for a medical emergency and later died that same day. And reports say that Stan was also battling pneumonia. And Stan Lee was 95 years old. And everyone knows who Stan Lee is. Marvel. Mm-hmm. All of the Marvel films that are out, that's Stan Lee. Mm-hmm. Okay. Kim Porter was 47 years old. And surprisingly, listen to this. The day that Kim Porter passed away, remember we reported last week regarding the Borderline Bar and Grill mass shooting? Mm-hmm. Remember we talked about that, and we talked about Tamara and her husband, Adam Housley, their niece, Elania Housley. How about she was being buried on the same day that Kim died? Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That is just crazy. Yeah. Our hearts go out. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of the families. Stan Lee, the Housley family, the Porter family, the children going to be without their mother. Diddy, without his best friend. It's just
it's a lot going on.
It's a lot.
And I also want to continue to send out thoughts and prayers, to all those that are in our Facebook community. Yeah. Every time I turn around, somebody's sick, somebody's passing away, going in for surgery, dealing with a lot of terminal illness and stuff like that. So, for those of us that are our friends and in the acting community here in Philly and the surrounding areas and things like that, we just want to let you know also that we're thinking about you. We're sending prayers and positive vibes towards you as well. Those who have lost loved ones, those who, constantly asking for prayer for family members and friends. It's just a lot going on. People hear me say this a lot, no matter if you're playing basketball, and I already said it on the show, or you're acting or whatever, life is still life. We're not removed from having to deal with those things that encompasses, life. Yeah. Aging is a part of life. Yeah. Death is part of life. These are the various different things that remind us of our mortality. Yeah. And so with that said, we have to give people roses while they're still alive around you. Yeah. Let somebody know that you love them. I give out hearts all the time on Facebook because that's my way of giving my brothers that Philadelphia brotherly love, to give you roses while you're still alive, and give my sisters that Philadelphia sisterly love, to give you roses while you're still alive, because you don't want to have any regrets that when people have passed away that you said I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't wait until the last
Don't wait till the last minute. You can
Tomorrow is not promised.
Tomorrow's not promised.
Don't wait until the last minute. Yeah. Stuff is happening all around us. Y'all see it. Yeah. It's happening all around us. Yeah. Don't wait until the last minute to tell your loved ones you love them, your friends that you appreciate them. Don't wait until the last minute, because we all know here today, gone tomorrow. Yep. Yeah. All right. So we're going to take a break,
and then we come back. We're going to find out what's bothering Nikki.
When I don't know what to do, what do I say? When I don't know what to say, where do I turn? What are the answers to those questions that seem to have no answer?
I'll just stand still
That's when church was church, man. That's when church was church. And I think it's a very, very applicable song for what we were talking about on the show. Yes. And maybe it's somebody out there that, you know, you're in a situation where you don't know what to do. And sometimes you got to just stand and stand still until his will is clear.
because it's a lot going on. And, you know, it just seems like there's no let up.
Yeah.
There's no let up. It just seems like there's just no room for stuff to get better.
Yeah. It feels like that. It looks like that. It feels like that. And sometimes you got to stand and stay. Yeah. Sometimes you got to stand and stay right there in the fire.
Yeah.
Until you know what His will is.
And it's hard.
It's hard. It's definitely not easy. But the good news is the situation hasn't consumed you because you're still here. Yeah. And if He brought you this far, He gonna take you the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And I like the story in the Bible. You know, we learned in Sunday school about the 3 Hebrew boys.
Yeah.
And they said, "Look, we threw 3 in there, but behold, I see a fourth walking around, and he looks like the Son of Man." You know, and the principle in there is that God will protect you in the fire, and because no matter what anybody has gone through under the sound of my voice, you have a triumphant testimony if you listening that you are still here.
It's rough. We know
it's hard.
It's rough.
It's hard.
It's rough, but we gonna get through this together.
Yeah.
You know,
there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
there is light at the end of the tunnel, and you know, hey, that's where our faith comes in. Yeah, that's where our fortitude comes in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And sometimes, man, you know, I saw this post that said, it said something along the lines of the devil said to the warrior, you know, you can't handle the storm. But the warriors said to the devil, the storm can't handle me. You know what I'm saying? Something to that effect. But it was about that warrior's mindset, man, that we sometimes have to have in this unfair, hard life, man, that can throw, you know, unexpected curveballs, you know, at us, man. And so, definitely a applicable song, man. And I like how she broke it down. She's like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be right here. I ain't going, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to have that attitude. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be right here. You know what I'm saying? She was breaking it down, man. You know what I'm saying? She was breaking it down, wasn't she?
Yeah, because it's when you know, they always say in church, focus on Christ. Mm-hmm. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Just keep your eyes on God. And there's even a passage in the Bible, scripture in the Bible, where it says, look to the hills from whence cometh your help. Your help comes from the Lord. Yeah. And sometimes it's one of those things where when you start looking around at everything that's going on around you, that can get you discouraged real quick.
It reminds me of the story when Paul, that in the Bible where it says something to the effect of like Paul asked, he saw Jesus walking on water, and he asked him, you know, bid me come, and Jesus said, okay, you asked, come on and come. Yeah. And it said as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, that he was able to walk on water. But then it said that the waves became boisterous, and then he started to look down. Yeah. But here's the thing, you know, and I have this conversation with people all the time, especially, you know, those super spiritual people who like to eliminate the practical because they got the spiritual. The bottom line is we're human. We have thoughts, we have feelings, we have emotions. And what we're seeing is real. You know, when Peter was walking on water, he looked down and it said that he saw that the waves were boisterous. Yeah. He saw that the waves were boisterous. So these waves were crashing. Wow. Yeah. They were slapping and boom, boom, boom. You know, when he took his eyes off God. But a super spiritual person would say those waves really aren't there. Yes, they are. Yeah. You know, people are really going through sickness and disease.
All right, now get out of what's bothering Nikee.
Okay, well, you know, losing loved ones. This is real stuff that is going on. Yes. And you know, sometimes people in their encouragement and inspiration can do more harm than help by trying to eliminate the practical over spiritual. We need a healthy balance of both. We can be spiritual and have faith and stand until we know his will, but also sometimes it hurts when you're going through trials and troubles and tribulations, pain, problems, and persecution and stuff like that. So now's my favorite part of the show. It's time to find out what's bothering Nikee.
Well, you did what's bothering Nikee.
Well, do it again. Maybe somebody needs to hear it again. I didn't know what you was going to say. Maybe
you
we need to hear
what's bothering Nikee.
Okay, rewind. Now's your turn. Yeah.
You know, it's what's bothering Nikee will be back next week.
No. You're going to do it.
Listen what I'm saying to you, man.
All right. Now, I don't want you to eliminate it because what I said.
Listen.
I want you to say it.
Listen. What's Bothering Nikee will be back next week because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. And although we have a lot of people will be out celebrating with their families and with their friends and their loved ones, we have a lot of people in mourning. Yeah. We have a lot of people in mourning. Over the past few weeks, a lot has been going on. We have lost a lot of people. Right. You know what I mean? With the synagogue shooting, the mass shooting at the Borderline Bar and Grill, Kim Porter, Stan Lee. We've been losing.
People on Facebook, people in our acting community,
Facebook friends,
are losing loved ones. Yeah.
We are losing our loved ones. So I want to just encourage everybody. Reach out to someone who lost a loved one. Yeah. Reach out.
Nick, I'm glad you're saying that. I really am thanking you for saying this because, we have these holidays that come up. Christmas and Thanksgiving, and they are celebratory moments and things like that. But everybody's not looking forward to it because last year Grandma was sitting at the table. She's not going to be sitting at the table this year.
That's it.
And we tend to forget about those people.
We forget, while we are out eating and having fun,
and watching
drinking
football,
our drink, watching football. We forget that somebody is in pain. Right. Someone is hurting, which leads to depression, which leads to alcohol abuse, which leads to substance abuse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So while you are celebrating with your family, friends, loved one, holla at your brother, holla at your sister.
Even if it's throwing up a prayer for those who are struggling and suffering. Yes. Because, I got into this conversation, man. And Nick, like I said, once again, thank you so much for talking about this because, we're going to see all the Facebook posts, Happy Thanksgiving Day. It's not a happy day for everybody.
It's not a happy day. It's not a happy day.
And sometimes in life, you can find your mind racing. Yeah. You can find yourself in a depressive stupor. And if you think about it, it could be consciously or subconsciously the anniversary of something you were struggling with. Because, we all go through it. You might go through it and you might say, man, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling depressed? Yeah. Go look at the calendar a couple years back or something like that. You might see it might be something on that calendar that is revisiting in terms of conditioning and time that's affecting you. And so it is with these holidays. Like people, Valentine's Day and all that. That's not a happy day for everybody. Christmas is not a happy day. I know of a family, when I was younger, the whole family died in a car accident on Christmas Eve. Yeah. So they go back to the same spot to this very, very day. That was like maybe 30-something years ago. And they still go back and put teddy bears on the street corner where they died. That's not a happy day for them. Yeah. So while we're blessed to have, maybe our family and friends on this side of the dirt, as we say, think about that person, man. Maybe perhaps that you can reach out and maybe invite them to your little Thanksgiving gathering or whatever. Throw up a prayer for those who have lost loved one. Grandma was at the table last year. She not there. Maybe grandpa was at the table 2 years ago. He's not there no more. And, it's a struggle. So I'm glad you're saying that. I think Kevin's Korner is rubbing off on you. I think it's rubbing off on you.
I love me some Kevin's Korner. I do. I love Kevin's Korner. Kevin's Korner keep us straight.
I got you, man.
But
That's great stuff, Nick.
Call up your brother. Call up your sister. Hey, I love you. I just want to let you know I care about what you're going through. You know, if you are tight like that, show up to their house with the turkey and all the trimmings. We're going to sit down and we're going to eat together.
Right.
You know, don't let that day, don't let tomorrow go by without reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're losing our children like crazy. You know, it used to be the same where our children are supposed to bury us. Now we're burying our children, and we're burying too many of them, I might add.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just want to encourage you. Reach out to your brother, reach out to your sister. Let them know you love them, you're thinking about them, you care about what they're going through. You know, I saw a post on Facebook. Someone said, "Where is God?"
Mm-hmm.
Where is God in all of this mess? That's what they said.
Yeah,
where is God in all this mess?
That's a good question.
And
it's a very good question. It's a realistic question.
It's a realistic question because, like we said earlier in the show, too many things are happening back to back to back to back to back.
Right. And you know what? And this probably would be a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
A lot of Christian folk can't answer that question therapeutically.
That's right.
It's not enough to say, well, just have faith.
Yeah.
It's not enough to say, well, he know what he's doing.
It's not
You're going to have to give some substance to that answer when people are facing real life circumstances, situations,
that's right.
or they see turmoil around them.
Yeah.
And here's the task of the believer. How do I bridge God, a loving God, with a world that's being turned upside down and make him attractive?
Yeah.
And give them the resolve to hold on in faith in him.
Yeah.
Because at this point, people, when they're going through suffering and pain, they don't see God.
That's right.
They don't feel God.
That's right.
He don't feel near and close and all that stuff. And it's not enough for us to give those spiritual Super Sunday answers like, well, his thoughts are higher than your thoughts. How did that help me by knowing that?
Yeah.
How did that take away my suffering and my pain, my heartache and shame by knowing that information that's in the Bible or whatever?
Yeah. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier. People are hurting. Look at the mass shootings that we had. Yeah. We had the Pulse nightclub shooting. Yeah. And then 2 years later, we have the Borderline Bar and Grill shooting.
Right.
Okay. Then we have the shooting at the synagogue.
Right.
Okay. And then now we have people just dropping off like flies and no one can explain. No one understands why. How do you have a young lady who was just sick? Right. And now she's dead.
Right. And I want to give the answer. I threw out a question. I want to give the answer. How do you bridge God?
How do you,
with people who are suffering and pain and going through all this stuff? The way you bridge it is you be the hands and feet of God by getting involved and doing something physically, and you be the instrument of love. That's how you bridge God.
That's how you do it.
Though my life is in turmoil, somebody cared. Somebody cared. And so that gives me a glimmer of hope. That gives me a glimmer of hope that maybe there is a God who still cares about me because he used somebody to get involved. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just throughout the scripture, but they got involved. In other words, a starving man don't want to have before you give him the track, get him something to eat. Yeah. Get them something to eat because that track is going to be reinforced by that platter you bought.
And when you show up to your brother and sister's house or when you call them on the phone, and I'm not talking about biological. Right. I'm talking about your brother and your sister who are not related to you, who are going through. Right. When you call them on the phone, hey, I love you. I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you today.
You know what?
That's letting them see God in you that way.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just like in the Bible when Moses said, God said to Moses, I'm going to set the children of Israel free. Yeah. But I'm going to send you. Yeah. He's looking for an instrument. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I heard,
be that instrument.
I heard a sermon one time. Oh, Lord. I heard a sermon because you mentioned my neighbor. You mentioned my brother and my sister. The parable of the sower in this, the parable of, there was a parable about a man who fell among thieves and he got beat up. Yeah. He was left half dead on the side of the road. Okay. And there was a Levite who saw him laying dead on the side of the road. Yes. He kept going. Yes. He represents the praise and worship leader. So he was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you because I got to get to praise and worship. I'm running late.
You get him out.
Yeah. And then there was the priest who came by. It was 3 people who came by. The priest came by And the priest represents the pastor. So the pastor couldn't help him out, even though he was half dead, because he had to go preach a sermon.
Stop.
But there was a good Samaritan, and you got to understand the backdrop of the story. The good Samaritan was,
You say the praise and worship.
He had to get the praise and worship so he couldn't help him out. He looked at him and he said, you know what, I would help, but I got to sing the songs aside. But there was a no good, low down, despised good Samaritan who was half Assyrian and half Jewish. It would be equivalent to somebody that would be mixed. And actually, the good Samaritan, who if you wasn't totally Jewish, you really weren't supposed to go in the city. So it was this despised, rejected Samaritan who was experiencing racism, decided to help this man who was half dead. And the whole question of the parable is, and who is my neighbor?
You know what?
And the answer is this, Nick.
What?
Only those, what you just said, only those are my brothers and my sisters who will help me in the time of need. You know what the title of the sermon was?
What?
Won't you be my neighbor?
You get on my
Please won't you be? Please won't you be?
You see,
my neighbor?
And you know what, y'all? Laughing also helps.
Yeah.
Laughing,
we just in our therapeutic mood right now.
Laughing also helps.
Yeah.
Your brother and your sister are going through. Put a smile on their face.
Yeah. And laughter is scientifically really like medicine.
Yes, it is. Put a smile on their face, because I'm over here cracking up.
Yeah.
Put a smile
Please
on their face.
won't you be my neighbor?
You know what? Anyway,
won't you be my neighbor?
I can't even finish.
Please won't you be my neighbor?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, we're going to take a break.
That's all I got. You know what? You get on my nerves. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, it's going to be time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Corner. I'm going to think about a song, too, to interrupt Kevin's Corner.
Hey, Pop. I'm tired of practicing. Do we have to practice these songs again?
Well, Jammer, we don't have to, but do you want our songs to be great?
Of course I do.
And do you want all those squids at home to learn from the things that we sing?
Of course I do.
Well, we have to practice. That's what self-discipline is all about. I make choices every day. I choose what I do and what to say. But if I want to be the best that I can be, I've got to make choices that are best for me.
We have to make tough choices based on the things we really want. Like, do I eat a carrot or a croissant?
If you want to get an A, you've got to work real hard. You can't bail on your homework to go out and play in the yard.
It's all about choices, the things you decide. If you choose what's best for you, you'll feel great. Oh, inside. Help your mom make dinner, make sure your room is clean. Don't give in to temptation and never be mean.
I make choices every day. I choose what I do and what to say. But if I want to be the best that I can be, I've got to make choices that are best for me.
I make choices every day. I choose what I do and what to say. But if I want to be the best that I can be, I've got to make choices that are best for me.
Yeah, I've got to make choices that are best for me.
You're listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. And so much more.
All right, we're back.
You know what? I have an issue.
What?
What is up with that dog's teeth?
What?
Why is that dog's teeth all bucked out like that?
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at it like, what in the world is going on? And they're yellow.
I know. Like he don't brush his teeth.
He made the choice not to brush his teeth.
He made the choice not to brush his teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are back. It's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we are just happy to be where we are.
That's right.
So, you know what? It's time for my favorite part of the show, Kevin's Korner.
All right. You heard the song, and the song was about making positive choices. You heard us talk to Mr. les-wexler, the positive choices for a brighter future program. So I thought to be, in line with the theme of what's going on, I want to talk about making good choices. This sounds very, very elementary, but I think it'll be beneficial when I'm done. So basically what we want to do is look for the important goal in the background of any choice that we make. Every day we're confronted with a barrage of choices. We make choices about the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the appointments we schedule, the people we meet, the time we turn up to work, which bus we'll catch, where we'll sit on the bus, what we do at work, after work, and so on. So what is a good choice? A good choice are decisions that keep us heading in the direction in which we want to go. Bad choices, on the other hand, end up being counterproductive and can quickly begin spiraling into stress, confusion, and despair. Some of the trickiest of choice making arise with options that may be pleasing in the short term, but may incriminately steer us off course over the long term. Conversely, some decisions can be a bit dreary or difficult at the time, but lead to better directions down the track. Perhaps the most fundamental consideration with choice making is to ensure the choice that we make are congruent with our goals that we have. And I want to add our dreams and our aspirations. All right. So if we have a quiet, distant goal of being financially independent one day and building a successful career, then making decisions to do drugs, alcohol abuse and things like that, it will likely lead to later discontent and misery, regardless of how good it all feels in the present. Perhaps it's related to an important goal. It could be related to, say, wanting to be accepted, wanting to be liked by others, and so forth and so on. It's amazing how many choices that we make that are governed on wanting to be loved and accepted and liked by others. All right. So with all of that said, one of the things that we all need to do is pay, in line with choice making, we have to pay attention to our inward appetites. Pay attention to our inward appetites. In order for a temptation to be successful, we all face temptation, to make bad choices. But in order for a temptation to be successful, there's a few ingredients that have to be involved. Okay. One of them has to be an inward appetite and an outside stimulus. You have to have both of them, because one without the other is not going to work. If I don't have an inward appetite for Snickers, well, you can wave it in front of me all you want. I'm not going to eat it because I just don't have an appetite for it. You know what I'm saying? But in line with, say, alcoholism and drug abuse, if you have an inward appetite for that, it's something that's maybe a predisposition. Maybe it could be hereditary. Maybe it could be genetic. It could be something on the inside that's already there that hooked up with the stimulus on the outside. And when those two connect by way of our senses and our action, we get a temptation that has now come to succumbing to a temptation. The best way I can explain it, you find a fish that's swimming around in the water, minding his business. He has an inward appetite. He's hungry. So now, lo and behold, he sees a hook with a worm on it. Well, he sees the worm, but he doesn't see the hook. So that outside stimulus would be the worm. The inside appetite will be hunger. And when those two hook up by way of his eyesight, his senses, he goes after it. But if the worm knew that it would be hook, line, sinker, and frying pan, he would have made a different choice. We're all going to make bad choices. None of us are perfect, but we want to do the best that we can to minimize those bad choices that can end up hurting us in the long run. Therefore, we got to pay attention to what's already in us that keeps hooking up what's being presented to us on the outside that keeps making us stumble, fall, fail, and falter. Let's make good choices.
That's good.
That's it.
That's good.
That's it.
That's good. Make the good choice to contact your brother and sister and tell them that you love them and
That's
you're there
it.
for them.
That's too.
Do that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all.
So that's all I have.
That's good. That's good.
I know that's
See,
it.
I told you I love Kevin's Corner. I told you.
Well, we had 2 Kevin's Korner today.
We had 5.
We had about 5 of them. Yeah, we had 5. We had about 5. All right, so
it's the Kevin Corner takeover.
It's been a Kevin's Korner takeover, man. But man, it's just we go with the flow. You know what I mean? We go with the flow of the show. That rhymes.
Yes, we
you know
do.
What I mean?
With the flow
we
of
go
the
with
show.
the flow of the show. And
the flow of the show and
the
flow of the spirit beams down by the Lord.
I was trying not to be too mystical, but you said it better. You said it a little bit better than I did.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, because he is the flow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm actor Kevin-D-benton. Look, follow us on Facebook. You can follow me at Kevin-D-benton on Facebook, on Twitter at Kevin-D-benton. Hey, check me out on YouTube, actor-Kevin-D-benton. Check Nikki out on YouTube, actress-Nikee-Warren. Look, we got some stuff up there, man. Dude, take a look at what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? We try to take this thing serious from a professional standpoint and mindset. And hey, we hope that we hope that we can always produce that with our output in terms of our acting.
That's
we just want you to check it out. You know what I mean?
That's right. And I'm actress Nikee Warren. You can find me on Facebook and on Twitter at Nikee Warren, and on Instagram, the gram. It's Hello, I'm Nikee. That's spelled HELLOIMNIKEE. And you can also find our show on Facebook, The Kevin and Nikee Show, and on Twitter, The Kevin-Nikee-show. And we're on Spreaker, YouTube, where we are everywhere. iHeartRadio. I mean, if you have any
Spotify.
Mm-hmm. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding our show, hit us up, the Kevin-Nikee-show at yahoo.com. You have any questions for our special guest,
Mr. les-wexler?
Hit us up, the Kevin-Nikee-show at yahoo.com. Send us a message. We'll read it to him, get the answer, and read it back. Like I say every week, who knows? Your letter can be on our show.
Yes, it can.
Now, also,
I definitely want to throw that website out again that Mr. Les talked about on the show. It's www.rtsaa.org. That number again, 713-338-9441. For anybody that just might need some help, want somebody to talk to, want somebody to point you in the right direction with his positive choices, for a brighter future. Substance abuse prevention program. Hey, reach out to them. These are some loving, non-judgmental, non-critical people. You're going to love them, and you don't have to be ashamed or embarrassed to go get the help that you need.
That's right.
A wise man, a wise woman, go and get help. That's what you do. So we put it out there because we want you to be informed. We want you to be encouraged. We want you to be inspired. We want you to be empowered, and we want you to be motivated.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that. We want you to be all of that.
That's right.
And we also want to, once again, encourage you. Reach out to your brother and sister.
Yeah.
Very, very important. A lot going on in the news, a lot going on around us, a lot going on around you. Reach out to your friends. Yeah. Reach out to your family and just let them know that you care. Let them know that you love them. You're there for them and you're going through it with them. Okay?
That's it.
Today's show is all about spreading that love and staying together in love and harmony, and just letting them know that you're there. So you know what? On that note, it's the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio. We're everywhere, and we're out of here.
Peace.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you. Same thing, baby, since we've been together. loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together. Loving you weather, times are good and bad, happy and sad. Ooh, yeah. Well, the times are good and bad, happy and sad. Why somebody, why people break up? Oh, turn around and make up. I just came to see you never do that to me. Would you, baby? Spinning around you is all I see. Is what I want to do. We ought to stay together. Loving you weather, times are good and bad, happy and sad. Come on, let's stay together. Loving you
You have been listening to the Kevin and Nikee Show on iHeartRadio.